The last thing you want is going to a party and social services taking your kids away and you're not able to go on with your children. I think we've got an habit, and it's bad etiquette, of thinking, well, if they've invited one child, they've invited all three of them. And please don't turn up late when it's pick-up time, because maybe the venue is closing and you're now turning up late. Be there on time. To be honest, if you don't have a DBS check and you don't work in safeguarding, you should not be touching other people's children or correcting them.
Hi everyone, welcome to Wisdom for Exploits. I am your host, Bola Amore. Today I have a wonderful lady with me. Her name is Mrs. Nisi Adedunton. The topic of discussion will be etiquette. Before my guest tells us about herself, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell. So what is etiquette? Etiquette is about showing respect and good manners through polite behavior. Proper etiquette includes social behavior, workplace, professionalism, and online interaction. Etiquette encompasses various forms such as dining, telephone, meeting, wedding, birthday parties, each with its own set of rules. Today, we will focus on the first social etiquette, children parties etiquette, a guide for parents. Over to you, my wonderful guest. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Excuse my throat. Once again, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It's always a different time, as we all know, in the world. My name is Nisi Adedunton. I'm a mother of 3 beautiful boys and also a wife, been married for the last 19 years. And currently I work in films and TV as a first aider, if that's the best way to say it, or as a medic. And before that, I've run through a line of different things. So from being an economic graduate, going into health insurance covers for many years, and then COVID, of course, changing lives and transforming and looking for balance in terms of parenting, as well as being able to still be a working mom and being an available wife. So that's where the business of Yummy Mummies comes in, which has been running for the last couple of years and up to where we are today and up to where God is taking us.
Wonderful. Wow. Well done. You wear so many hats, isn't it? Okay. The introduction question. What motivates you or motivated you to specialize in working with children and develop a profound understanding of them, ultimately deciding to pursue a role as a master of ceremony?
Wow, what pursues me? Basically, it's a matter of finding your vision. As the Bible says, it said, whatever we lay hands on, it will bless. Yes. And one thing you always realize is people always find it difficult to know what they want to do. But the Holy Spirit leads us. He says it will guide us and teach us which way to go. So I think for me, it all started in church at a young age, like the usual, you get pushed into where your parents think you need to go. So I think at that time I was pushed into the choir and I was like, with what voice am I going into the choir? But as usual, African parents, they want you to do something, do something in the house of God, which there's nothing wrong with. And I think I found myself just walked into Sunday school one day. I got on with the kids really well, and I enjoyed it so much that I deviated from the choir. I wanted to become a teacher and different things. Once again, African parents, oh, why do you want to become a teacher? They don't get paid much in Nigeria, blah, 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 which led me back into the role of economics. And then gradually, I think when I had my kids, I thought, what can I really, really do? And I remember going for Bible studies. I attend Winners Chapel, by the way. Okay. And while I was there, they were teaching about work ethics, and work should not be something that should stress you out. It should be something you should enjoy doing. And I think I raised the question that while I'm on maternity leave, finances are not so great. And the pastor spoke to me and said, there's got to be something you do easily that you can monetize. And the Holy Spirit just said, you like working with children. And I remember just thinking, yes, I like working with children. I've got a heart of a child. I want to be able to do something where I can enjoy at the same time and it can bring in something. And so I went out there, sat down one day, asked the Holy Spirit to lead me, opened my laptop, created a name like Yummy Mummies 123. Everyone's like, what kind of a name is Yummy Mummies 123? I said, a name that you can't forget, basically. A name that, people are willing to run to and think, what comes out of Yummy Mummies? And as the Holy Spirit led, I designed the website, spoke to a few of my friends who said they would come along, but unfortunately they fell along the way. Went out to my first gig, took whatever the lady was going to give me, and eventually just got better and better from there. So every time I'm out there, I have the heart of a child. I enjoy working with kids. And that was where it started from. And that was the first child who I emceed his party. He's now 17.
Wow. Wow. He's a young person now, as they call it.
In college.
In college. Wow. That's really good. Wonderful. Well done. So today we're focusing on Children Party, a guide for parents.
Mm-hmm.
So my first question is, what is the core aim of Children Party? Fun. How should safety and inclusion guide every decision?
Right. How should safety and inclusion, right.
Yeah, so, inclusion guide every decision.
Definitely. So God be the glory. Like I said, I worked in health insurance for 16 years before COVID, and things changed before I moved into the TV world of what I'm doing now. And to God be the glory, apart from being in health insurance for 16 years, I'm also a medic on TV sets. So safety first is my notion with everything. So how should safety go into it? One thing I realize about parents is when they're planning a party, they are not thinking out of the box in terms of things like that. Now, it's up to you as a kids entertainer, an MC, to make sure you are asking the right questions. Questions that you should have planned before, like, okay, how many kids are we expecting? What are the age range of these children? Do you think the venue is suitable enough? Because we are very keen on one thing. I don't want to keep saying African people, but we can sometimes, as disciplined as we are, let us say, we can sometimes just overlook health and safety. So I've been to venues where they say this venue would only take 100 people, whereas the parents have invited over 100 people, or just uncountable. They've opened the invite to everyone.
Wow.
Now, you're not thinking of safety when it comes to your guest. You're just thinking you don't want to disappoint people. The things you are forgetting at that point is the venue can fine you. So many things can happen. And then once health and safety kicks into it, maybe the place is overcrowded, people are not breathing, finding room to breathe and things like that. The party becomes unenjoyable, not just for your guests. It becomes unenjoyable for your entertainer as well, who's trying to find space in order to entertain your guests. So what am I going back to? It's about asking the right questions beforehand. How many are you expecting? What is the layout of the hall? Can I speak to your decorator? Can you please let the decorator know when it comes to kids, we need to have enough time to run around. If it's a 5-year-old party, we definitely need space. If it's a 10-year-old party, you might be able to do things with them that's more creative. Now, if it's a 1-year-old party, trust me, these kids want to run around. So you need to make sure there is a place for safety. Also, even when it comes to things like going to the toilet and coming back, the kids won't just step out the door. Also, there has to be things like pre-warning as well. If you're the MC of the party, or you're the party host or entertainer, let the family know, right, you are here to have fun, but at the same time, this is a country with law and guidance. You have to look after your own kids. Don't get too excited you're eating and drinking and your kids are now running outside the venue. If anything happens, it doesn't fall on the entertainer, it falls on you. Because the last thing you want is going to a party and social services taking your kids away and you're not able to go on with your children. So ask the right questions as the entertainer. Also, I do a contract where I say, whatever happens, you know what, it falls back on you. It's not me. I have a liability insurance. I've asked you the right questions. I've asked you to plan right. So before you send out your invites, think if the venue says 100 and we're Africans, we're inviting 50, you know what? Just invite 50, because automatically that normally doubles in number anyway. I hope that answers your question, man.
All right, that's fine. That's actually, you cover a little bit of my next question, but I'm still going to go ahead with the other one.
I'm sorry.
How can host? Yeah, I said you cover a little bit of my other question when it comes to identity and all those stuff. Yeah. So, but this question I'm still going to ask you is how can host plan age appropriate? Yeah. Age appropriate. I know you mentioned that when we're having a party, if it's 5 years old, what do we need to put in place? If it's 10 years old, 7 years old, 1 year old, is a different structure. So how can host, yes, somebody hosting the party, plan age appropriate activities? There's different activities for this age range,
Yes,
and timeline. So younger children are not overwhelmed and older are not bored.
100%. First of all, you need to do your research. What are kids into?
Okay.
Now, I am blessed to be a Sunday school teacher. I've been teaching Sunday school for over 20 odd years. I think I first started teaching Sunday school at the age of 15. Just like what I said at the beginning, that, I was sent to the choir, but Sunday school was what drew my attention. And that was what made me work with children.
Okay.
So it's important that you study the children around you. At the moment, my age range that I teach in church is the age of 10 to 12. So also teaching them, I'm looking at what are they interested in? What sort of music are they doing? And then the same thing is what I would go back and incorporate into the games that I'm going to do for 10-year-olds. But at the same time, when you ask the right questions to the mother of the child that's celebrating, or the guardians or the parents, you ask them, what are the age ranges that is coming? If it's a 10-year-old party, I will prioritize 10-year-old games because it's a 10-year-old party. However, if she says to me, oh, this child has got siblings that are age 5, of course, I know there's going to be a few age 5 there, or age 7. It's now up to me to be able to draw up a timetable and say, right, this is what we're going to open with. It's going to be open to everyone. And then eventually, maybe while they are eating, I will specially invite the 10-year-olds to come and play games that is more appropriate to them. And by the time the others have finished eating, perhaps I need to bring in something that's also inclusive for everyone. Inclusivity is not just age range. It's also looking at, okay, will there be children with special needs there? What would they enjoy? Because I also want to cover them. And then the thing is, you go to children's party, they say it's children's party. Now, the idea of Yummy Mummies is not just to entertain children, it's to entertain adults as well. Parents are normally overwhelmed on the day, and they're so overwhelmed serving their guests that it's also up to you to think, what can I do that's also going to carry along parents? So it's a matter of knowing when to bring in parents, maybe to support, especially when it's a 2-year-old party or a 2 to 5-year-old party. And also, even if it's a 10-year-old party, find the way of incorporating the parents into the game. Tell them to come and help you hold the mic. Tell them to come and help us with safety guidance. Please stand around the children at this point. So it's your job to make sure everybody, if you've asked the right questions prior to that, everybody is catered for. Because at the end of the day, it's your business. You don't just want to come where people have said, oh, well, my 10-year-old was bored. Ask the right questions. It lets you know who is at the party beforehand. And it's a matter of planning games that includes everybody. Even if you touch up on 1 game or 2 games, that includes everybody, but you then mainly concentrate on the 10-year-olds, it means that at least they've had fun. Or alternatively, I can say to parents, okay, since it's a 10-year-old party, you have younger children, do you want to rent out a bouncy castle where it gives younger children a break to go and do something, or a soft play? Or perhaps you want to invest a bit more and maybe take out face painting, which is also an option of what we give. And then at least the younger children are occupied with face painting while the older children are having fun. So it's just a matter of making sure there is something for everybody. And that falls back once again on your MC, your host, your kids entertainer, to make sure they do that ahead of time.
Okay, cool. So now, because our focus is on etiquette, children party etiquette. So now the next question that is coming to me is that before my child leave the house, let me use my child now.
Yep.
And let me say my child is 5 years old.
Yes.
Yeah, for example, I don't have 5 years old anymore. But let me just say 5 years old, for example, of those that still have little kids. What should I tell my child to do? Or how do I advise my child that when you get to this party, this is what you need to do, the etiquette you need to play out?
Fantastic. Home training. That's what it is. We like our children being themselves when they're at home, but we tell them to be best behaved when they're outside.
Yeah.
I don't mind children being themselves when they're at home. Now, that is a parental discipline. So I suppose if my 5-year-old, I would have warned them ahead of time. Please, when you go to the party, stick with me at all times. Check in with me all the time. When you go to the party, listen to whatever the entertainer is saying. Don't try to be unruly and follow other kids because other kids are doing it too. And wait your turn to be served. Because at the end of the day, we want to raise adults that are good for the society, not adults that are, that will disturb the society. So it's a matter of telling your kids the right things,
Okay.
Also, maybe feed your children as well because they might not like the food that is there. That's something I suppose I've always done with my kids. Like, do you want to have something little at home just in case there's more than enough at the party, or you
Mm.
don't like what is being served, or due to allergies and things like that? At least you're fully satisfied before you leave.
Thank you. I'm still coming to that allergy. So anyway, that's fine because home training the first. Don't push,
Yeah,
say thank you to people
yeah.
and all that because there are some parties. Anyway, I know we're still going on with that question. There are some parties they will say, no, it's only children. We don't want parents.
Mhm,
So yeah, just drop off and anyway, we're still coming to that. So this
mhm.
one is that what details? This one is invitation and RSVP now.
Oh, yes.
So what details belong on the invite? Age range, start time, end times, location, dress code. You
Mhm.
mentioned allergies and accessibility, drop off, and stays clear or expectation. So what should they be in the invite? What details belong on the invite for this children party?
Venue,
Yeah.
timing.
Yeah.
I suppose,
What about dress code? Because I've seen some children, parents will just wear something, they'll say this is a birthday party, and children will just wear something anyhow. It's just like adult party. You can't wear something anyhow.
it's understandable, but let's look at this in different cultures. I think when it comes to us, especially Africans, Jamaicans, we like to dress up. Whereas when you look at the diaspora and we're looking at English people, it's literally come as you are. So maybe you want to come, except it's a theme party. Of course, if it's a theme party, for example, someone has told me they're having a Disney theme party. Of
Okay.
course, as parents, I want to know that on the invite because I don't want my child to stand out. But at
Mm,
the same time, it's also important to think, how about if they can't afford it? Perhaps some people will design something that's appropriate for their kids or just come in whatever they do have. So it's understandable. Mine is normally, as long as a child is modest, they're comfortable in what they're wearing because we've seen the way society has changed suddenly. Children a lot younger are wearing things that they should not be wearing, you
mm,
know. So of course, dress code, yes, should be on there. Timing should be on there. If it's a party strictly for one, then
mm,
let them know that this person is specially invited to this party, and they would let you know. I think we've got an habit, and it's bad etiquette of thinking, well, if they've invited one child, they've invited all three of them.
uh-huh,
Your guest ahead of time. Speak to your invitee, the person inviting you ahead of time, and say, right, I've also got Deji and I've got this thing. Are they invited, or is this party especially for Ola, for example? And if
mm,
they say, oh no, we've got a head count and especially for Ola, because we won't do that if it's our English people that's invited us or
mm.
people out of our race or out of our culture that have invited us, but we automatically do it for our culture. That is bad etiquette.
True.
Ask the right questions. And then, of course, RSVP. It depends on what the RSVP is saying. Is he inviting all of us? Or is the RSVP saying, please respond that Ade will be coming to the party? If he says, please respond that Ade will be coming to the party, automatically we should know that we should not be bringing Ade, Shola, and whatever to the party. They've
Mm,
said to you. And then also the invite should be able to indicate drop off and pick up. If he says drop off and pick up, then I certainly know that they are not inviting me as a parent to come and sit around. So it's all
mm,
to sit in the car or maybe go and find something to do. But as a
mm,
parent, let's look at it both sides. Ask the right questions as well. Is the venue safe enough for my kids? Please make sure this is that. Please make sure that is that. And as you've mentioned, allergies, it's important. So if you know your child carries an epileptic pen, then definitely let the host know my child is allergic to so. There are 2 pens in my child's bag should anything go wrong. Please let me know that you can insert. If you know you can't do it, then by all means, I'm happy to hang around the party just in case my child comes in contact with peanuts, dairy, eggs, and whatever they should come into, whatever could be around that we don't know. So those things, time, date, location, venue, always make sure you RSVP. Check the RSVP. Is it saying that specific name? And if you're not sure, give the host a ring. And then definitely allergies is a big thing. And if it's got a drop off and pick up time, it means that they expect you to drop off. They don't expect you to hang around and pick up appropriately. And please don't turn up late when it's pick up time because maybe the venue is closing and you're now turning up late. Be there on time. Thank you, Ma. Hope that answers your
Thank
question.
you. Yeah. Thank you very much. Actually, you even cover my next question, so I'm just going to go to the next one because you really nail it on the head because African behavior. When people are doing party, they say, no, it's all of us they invited you, so we have to go, all of us have to go. So I think is a good etiquette whereby you know that, okay, is it only for Ola that is coming to this party, or you want BC to follow and you want Temitayo to follow, understand? So, understand. So we know that it's only for party, and they say, okay, we don't mind. Okay, what about in a party? Is it a good etiquette for kids to be packing stuff for the celebrants? Like they finish eating, they should have organized people packing and all those stuff, throwing stuff away. Is it okay when when they're very good clearing up? Is it a good etiquette?
I mean, there's nothing wrong with clearing up, because once again, it's about how you've raised your kids. Because we all say to our kids, don't leave your plate at the table when you're done. Yeah. And at school, when they are in dinner halls, they're expected to pick up their plates and take it and go and put it away. So there is nothing wrong with the child doing that. However, once again, let's look at age ranges. Would you expect a 1-year-old or 2-year-old to clear up? No. Possibly maybe a 5-year-old won't do it. But 10-year-olds, there is nothing wrong with either your MC or host announcing, please guys, clear your table after. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. We're only developing, we're thinking of their future. Okay. If they can clear up at home, they can clear up there. But as for 5-year-olds, of course not. They're there to have fun. They don't want to clear up. They just want to run back onto stage and go and dance and enjoy themselves. So, there's nothing wrong with mentioning it, but I would like to think you would think, you know what, let me clear up after them instead. Okay. I think that would be appropriate. Okay, that's fine. I've had a party before. This one is a part of our question now. Yeah. I've had a party before whereby we said, if some parents want to stay, they can stay, because of the little one, because of the age range at that time. Then we said, okay, if you want to drop off and pick up your kids, that's fine. Yes. So unfortunately, some parents, they were running late. Is that a good etiquette? I know you've mentioned that. And how can an host undo when parents drop off their kids at the party and now they went shopping and the party is over, like the venue time is over and the kids are still waiting for the parent to pick them up? That's bad etiquette. That's bad parenting. Let's be honest. I work in a Sunday school setting. If you don't pick up your children, because we are heavily regulated and we've got a massive Sunday school, if you don't pick up your child within 45 minutes and we've rang you if you've not picked up your phone and you've not sent a message, by law, just like schools, we're actually supposed to report to social services, the police first. Parents don't believe these things. You can apply the same discipline to parties if you need to, especially if it's a child that needs extra support. So as parents, it's irresponsible for you. Even if you're going shopping, it's important that you plan ahead of time because anything can happen. Traffic can happen. Don't get me wrong. In situations like that, it's understandable. We can't foresee the future. But in situations where you've just happily gone to enjoy yourself and you've relaxed and you've dropped off your child, the host is not there to babysit your child. The host has been kind enough to include your child and invite your child to a party. And it's up to you to make sure by quarter to the time or half an hour to the time, you should be ready to pick up your child. They're already helping you out. They are feeding your child for the day. Let's not push it because, to be honest, if it's me, you won't get the next invite to my child's party if that's the attitude you're going to throw.
You've already set your mind, which is good.
It's very true because at the end of the day, me holding your child can be costing me money for the venue.
It's true.
And we need to think about that. And then once your child is out of that venue, your insurance and liability does not cover that venue, does not cover. Now I've got your child on the street with me or in the car. They are not insured to be around me at that point.
What about in the African parent? They say, I hope you don't mind taking the child home with you.
No, I do mind because first of all, I might not have an extra car seat. I might not have space in my car. It's an absolute inconvenience to me. I know families do that. We've got a bad habit of saying, well, your family, just take the child home with you. It should have been a pre-discussion that we had. You don't know how full up my car has been with the things I've loaded into the venue, because that might mean I have to now go back and forth, which is now, of course, an inconvenience to me. And I've been in that situation. You've been in that situation, Ma, where we just said, okay, no problem. But have a conversation with me first. Don't say now because you are stuck, This is what has had to happen. I've been in that situation many times where I've had to now get a cab. I've now had to put an adult in the cab with that child or those kids to go. That is costing me more money. It's not very nice. And that's why I said you would not get an invite to my next party.
True. That's very true, because we need to, the etiquette is, when the party said it's 2 to 4, just stick to it. Pick up your child and go home. Let the child go and sleep.
Yeah.
If the party is parents should stay now, how can adults support without overing, correcting other children? Oh, you put the table, you shouldn't put the fork there, you shouldn't put the spoon there, or undermining the host. Oh, the host, why should you, this is not nice, this is not good, you didn't present this well, you didn't decorate the table well, those stuff.
I totally understand you. So I've invited you to my party. You've come, you're undermining the way I've set up my party. Maybe I've not cooked enough ranges for you to eat. Maybe I didn't include swallow in the ranges of sandwiches that I made. Things like that. Or you're not happy with the way the party is set up. Two things. You sit in your corner, you drink water and mind your business. Because at the end of the day, that is what I can afford as the host. The fact that I've allowed you to stay, you should see it as what's the word I'm looking for? I've accommodated you. So, and if you're not busy or you're bored, by all means, I'll find you something to do. Maybe help me. To be honest, if I'm going to somebody's party, let me put myself in those shoes. The minute I get there, my job is to say, how can I make life easier for you? Because at the end of the day, I want you to enjoy your child's party. So is there anything I can handle or cover for you? That's what I should be doing. And if I'm not doing that, it's my job to find a corner, be quiet, sit there and until I'm told what to do. So for example, I should not be rushing when they say, oh, it's food time. I should think, well, it's a kids party. Kids will go first. I'm thinking as a host, as the MC now, and I'm also thinking as the parents. We should know these things. And if I say, oh, I've only catered for drinks for the adults, you should once again eat before you leave. Just always assume that there might not be enough to be able to feed your child and feed adults. So those are the sort of things I would have done. And if they say there's extras, then by all means, I would come and take the extras. And this is not Africa. Why am I correcting somebody else's child? The parents are there to correct them. If they need support as a parent, I can support other people's children. But to be honest, if you don't have a DBS check and you don't work in safeguarding, you should not be touching other people's children or correcting them.
That's a good one you mentioned now, because people don't know that,
It's a country.
Yeah, because they think that because I'm in a party, it's my friend party, I can correct their children. Oh, Bola, why are you doing that? Why should you use your left hand to hold the knife and
I'm left-handed. I've heard that all my life. I still hear that now. I said I'm left-handed. I've heard that all my life. I'm still left-handed and I still hear it now.
Easy. Anyway, nobody said that. I'm left-handed too, but nobody mentioned, but I write with my right hand, but nobody has mentioned that to me. But yeah, because some kids, they run about, they say, oh, you shouldn't be running. And sometimes you see some parent reaction, their face is like, why did that kid be doing that? The kid is naughty, and all that stuff. Yeah, I think that's good. So if you don't have a DBS check, don't correct other children. Not like Africa that you can beat somebody's else child,
Special needs, ma'am. Disability. The disability is not visible to everybody.
It's true. True. Yeah, that's another one.
Neurodivergent. Because that's the training. It doesn't mean the kids don't have home training. But you don't know what they are going through. So it's always important that you look away. If a child is running around, you're concerned about their safety. Speak to their parents, speak to the host of the party that's invited that child, because there's a chance that the parents have already said when they left, oh, this child likes to run around. This is the way to do it. Don't step in. However, if a child's about to endanger themselves, that's when an adult, maybe you've got DBS or you don't have DBS or you don't work with children, should step in. For any reasons, if they are not endangering themselves, but you are not comfortable, drink water and mind your business.
Wow, that's good. That's a good one. Gift and no gift policy. What is a considerate approach to gifts? Budget friendly, experience based, or no gift, please? How do parents explain this to children?
When you say gifts that I am buying if I'm a parent for somebody's child, or
Yeah.
something I'm giving out as a party bag.
I think it's but not the party bag. The
Okay.
gift that you want to give to my child. You're coming to my child's birthday. You want to give her something or him something. Yeah.
To be honest with me, it always depends on my budget. And if it's, for example, if there's 30 children in my kids' classes and they're all turning 10, now I might not be able to afford £50 for 30 children.
Okay.
But I might be able to afford £10 in the hope that there will be 29 children's birthdays attending. So it's really up to the parents. For me, I'm very easy. I would always look for gift voucher, because at the end of the day, I'm like, buy what you want or put money in an envelope. But I don't think a parent that's hosting the party should be telling people what they should spend or what they should not spend. You have invited them to the party. Maybe they come with something or not. You should be able to welcome them, with excitement. But you are right. I've been to parties where social class, I suppose, where they expect, okay, because it's a rich parent, the child goes to a private school. Someone puts themselves under pressure. Someone actually said this to me in church the other day. She said, because my child goes to a private school, I get scholarship. I have to send my child, I have to go to Arrows all the time. They invite my child because I have to buy something that's appropriate. Now, parent is struggling, and that parent's child is only in the same private school because they got a bursary. And I said, you shouldn't have to do that, because if you're not turning 10, let's say 20 people invited you, you're spending £100 on 20 children. That's a lot of money. And you then say my child will not go to the party or my child will miss out of the party. I said, stick with what you want. Maybe they like it or not. That's the best you can give.
So because the child goes to a private school, you have to go to Arrow to go and buy presents.
That's exactly what she does all the time.
No, that's
she doesn't want them to look down on her child, remember?
Because I'm trying to bring up that question as well, because some kids will say, when my children were still young, when they're invited to a party, I go to Argos or any shops that is nice, selling nice children's stuff, I get them the gift. But now they've grown up. They will have said to me that, okay, mommy, anyway, now I don't buy, they do it themselves now. But, by the time they get to the stage they had now, they will say, oh, my friend is having a party. This is what they like.
Yeah.
You understand?
What's the theme?
So it's not about me thinking that, okay, this guy is turning 12. I know the gift that is good for 12 years old.
Yeah.
You understand? So it's not like that anymore. It's like what they think their friends want.
Into. Yeah.
Oh, you understand? So in that case, how can parents undo that?
Right. So for example, let me use Spider-Man as an example.
Spider-Man, okay.
I have a lot of 5-year-old parties. Spider-Man, Marvels basically. It's something that they all like. They enjoy, a lot of them, especially boys, for example. Once again, let's go back to using Spider-Man or Iron Man or whatever as an example. Now, the way I would look at that is if my child has said, oh, my friend really likes Marvel or likes Spider-Man, there are two options. Either I go online and I just buy something that's from Argos, like you said, for the child. How about if we all turned up and we bought 5 Spider-Man scooters for the child? Whose job is it? The parent now has to find a way of repackaging it for another child or taking it back and saying it's a refund. And that's why for me, and I know my husband would always laugh and say, you like the easy way out. I would rather buy a voucher. Now you've got universal vouchers, love to shop vouchers, not that I'm trying to advertise them. Or you've got vouchers where you can use in multiple stores.
Yeah.
For me, I would rather buy voucher rather than just going with the theme of this child like Spider-Man. Maybe buy a Spider-Man card and say, there you go. Feel free to go and buy what you would like or put it towards your present. Or let's look at it the other way. Maybe Spider-Man things are very expensive. For example, Disney things are very expensive. You can buy the same Argos brand or Tesco brand for a lot cheaper, but the minute it's got a branding of Spider-Man or Disney or Marvel on it, it suddenly becomes £20 more expensive. But it's the cheaper version I want to buy. Would I now put myself under pressure of buying that item? Or once again, would I rather just say, listen, this is a voucher towards whatever shop you want to go to, or this is £10 or £20 towards whatever you want to go to. And then the child can add together the couple of £20 they've got and they can go and buy what they want. We have to look at it both ways. Everybody can end up buying the same present, which is then useless. Or, once again, you can force yourself out of pocket as well. Or thirdly, maybe something we should add to the list then, maybe a gift list. We do that for weddings. You've heard of weddings where you can give to John Lewis their gift list and you can buy it for them. Yeah. And at that point, John Lewis would automatically just say, actually, there's 2 of these items. We would rather give you the voucher and you can pick something else. Or because they've got a gift list, you can go back and refund it for money or whatever options that you have. So maybe parents should add a gift list or a gift link. I've heard of Amazon. Some parents do something called an Amazon wish list of their child, and you can go into Amazon and you can do that.
Okay. What about the case no gift, please? And how do parents explain this to children?
Hang on, you are saving my pocket money. They said no gifts.
But some children say, Mommy, I still want to buy this for my friend. But now they've RSVP'd and said, no gift, please. And the children is like, Mommy, it's my friend. I want to buy something. And how can parents explain this to their child?
They've said no gift. Maybe you want to give money instead, or maybe just your presence is enough for them. Explain to your child that they just want you at their party. They're happy for you to be there. Your presence is enough for them. Just let your children know. And then I'll tell my kids, listen, there's more money in our pocket for Christmas or more money for your own birthday. Don't worry.
Exactly. That's good. I keep thinking about this one we mentioned now, this one that go to private school, because I'm just thinking that quite a lot of people around me that go to private school. Yeah. And I've never come across somebody putting pressure that you have to. I've heard about a friend mentioned that the kind of friend that his son was keeping, they said if you don't have an iPhone, you can't be in our caucus. Yet as young as they have, I've had that one. And I was like, why? And the mommy said it doesn't have to be in your caucus, it doesn't come to school to come and make all these friends and they keep boasting around. But this issue of gift, because children need to learn, how can we, I know we're talking about etiquette, but so many things just coming up. But how can we now tell kids to understand this, that, you said the parents said you are in this school because you got a bursary, or some might even be in that school because of academic performance, not that they are paying the hard currency other parents are paying. So how can we sit a child down and let them come to realization that must you really give gifts to your friend even though you go to a private school? Because I remember my son, when we this last summer, and one of his friend was having a birthday, and he said, Mommy, I want to buy something for my friend. And I said, what do you want to buy? This little teddy for an adult.
Yes.
I was even saying that, why will you buy this teddy something for a child? And said that is what the person like. You understand? And it's just a simple amount of money, not even a ridiculous amount of money. So let's now go back to the child, because you're in a kind of a caliber whereby other parents are, they are up there. We are all up there, we're all up there. Nobody's low in Christ, we're all up there. So how can you, because we don't know who is going to listen to this in the future. Apart from our audience at the moment, but because we need to bring children back to basis that you're coming from this home, this is your background. How can we help that child? Because if they graduate from school and go further, this thing is going to go along with them, and this is where majority fall into trouble.
I think what you need to do is teach your children financial discipline from a young age.
Yes, you're very right.
And a lot of people don't do it. And the reason we don't do it is because we don't want them to live the sort of life we live. For example, say someone like me who grew up, with a single, I always say I'm a very, very proud person that grew up in a single home And God helped my mom to make sure all of our kids graduated, every single one of us, you know.
Amen.
So at that point, you learn discipline at a young age, what's available. But the issue with us is we don't want our children to go through what we went through.
That's it.
Habit of wanting to say, no, 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 it's available. Oh, my child wants this best designer. Oh, it's available. But we forget to teach our children that no, there is a way to get there. I remember when I was young and it was Christmas. Sorry, when my son was young, my first one, and it was Christmas, and we go to Argos. And at that point, I used to rely on the Argos card a lot because you get later. It got to a stage where I said no to my child one day, and she said, "What do you mean, mommy? Just use your Argos card." And I realized that my child thinks Argos card is free.
It's free.
My child doesn't understand that I have to pay this money back. And I had to sit him down. I said, this Argos card, it's borrowing. We are borrowing it so I can pay for it little by little. And a lot of parents would think, why would I explain that to a 6 or a 7-year-old? Explain it to them.
So, explain. I tell my children too.
Argos is borrowing us the money. And we have to pay it back little by little. And if we don't pay it back, there's consequences. They will take more money that mommy does not have out of our pocket. And we will be in financial turmoil. So explain to them at an early age and then let them know. So going back to the private school, you are only going to this school, not because we can afford it, but it's because God favored us and made the way. It's because of God gave you academic abilities. God gave you sports abilities that make sure that you are better than this person. And that's what made you be preferred among your peers. So it's not because mommy has this money yet. Of course, there would be a way. God will bless mommy. So please don't try to come people there. And if you feel the pressure that they are picking on you, just step away. Or, have a word with God and ask God to help you to be able to do these things. And there's nothing wrong with being picked on because guess what? They are your friends now, but they won't be your friends forever.
Forever. That's it.
You are just there for a matter of 4 years or 5 years or 6 years. And the minute you are there, you would be able to form a bigger bond when you get to university or when you go out into the working world. Let them know friends are temporary, but the families you have around you, they will be forever. And there's always going to be that one friend that God sent to you where it doesn't matter what their background, you'll be able to lift each other. So don't compete with the Jones. Just be your own person. Be independent and know that God has chosen you for a purpose.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Financial discipline is very, very important. A lot of parents truly they shy away from that.
Yeah.
If I don't have money, I tell my kids, you know what, I don't have it.
Yeah.
If they ask me something now, I say, you know what, I can get it later, but not now. Now you're asking me. I say, why? Myself and my son, we went out 2 days ago to collect the delivery because I purposely did. I don't want them to deliver it so that you can wear it there. If it doesn't fit, we return it. And I said to him, he said, "Mommy, you don't want to be spending." I said, "I don't want to be spending because I said I don't have much, isn't it?" You need to, but some parents they'll be shining. Shy away from it and said, "I don't want my child to know this and that." Financial discipline, that's very good. When opening presents, I know our time, I'm looking at our time too. When opening present, is it better to do it privately or with group, or how can the birthday child practice gracious thank you?
Always privately, because of course it's different. If it's a house party, the child might want to open it then. But once again, I will speak back to the mother host or the father host. How would that child feel if it's a child that can't afford much? So I would always say privately is good. You can always send a message and appreciate that person later, or you can write thank you cards. That's what I'd make my child do. Oh, thank you for this Princess Diaries, this thing, I've always wanted it, and thanks for coming to my party. So that you are basically thanking people one at a time, and it's personal as well. Personal thank yous speaks a lot. It means that you recognize that thing that person did for you. Because at the end of the day, what happens if it's the child that doesn't have a lot? So it's important, you have to be inclusive and you have to think ahead that actually, no, let's leave it till later. And what I would normally say to my children, because every child is excited, they want to open it straight away. So when they give my kids gifts, I'm like, no, because we need to write down the name of who gave you what so that we know how to thank them. But at the same time, I'm also protecting that other child that, maybe the parents did not have much and that's what they can afford.
I have a question there too. So how should host label food? I know we talk about allergy, but we didn't talk about how they label it. Because kids, when they see something and say, "Oh, this thing look nice," but they don't know they're allergic to it. So how should host label food clearly? Allergen, veg, vegetarian, halali, and so on. Avoid cross contamination.
It's a bit difficult in a party. It's when it's a drop-off party. By all means, you need to ask the right questions. Does
Okay.
your child have an allergy? This is where you put all those things on invite.
Okay.
If
Cool.
it's a party where the parents are, I'm sorry, the responsibility of parents to go to the table and ask the right questions to whoever is in charge of it. But the only thing the host can do is make sure there's provision for all. So make sure if there's pescatarians, make sure there's a fish option available. If there's vegetarians, make sure there's vegetable only option, vegan option available, which is suitable for vegans and vegetarians. So it's about making it available. I think it's a bit difficult labeling. I mean, what you would find is in a lot of schools, they would ask for pre-packed food because at the end of the day, I can go online very quickly and I can check the ingredients and make sure there is no eggs in it if my child is allergic. However, if it's, let's go back to African party, where there's jollof rice, there's fried rice, there's chicken, it's a bit difficult for me to start asking the person, especially if they've catered out the food, sorry, is there any meat stock? Because we forget things like that. Chicken stock for a vegetarian or a vegan, it's a no-no.
It's true.
But automatically, your caterer would cook their fried rice and put prawns in it, and they don't think of things like that. So it's either my job to be able to say, please make sure I have a prawn person, someone that's allergic to prawns, make sure there's no seafood inside the fried rice. It's my job as the host to do that. Or if your parents are with them, then the parents can clearly see that, oh, I can see prawns in there, my child is allergic. So it depends on what party it is. If it's a drop-off party, I would say to parents as hosting, please make sure it's mainly pre-packed foods where you know what, and ask for the child's allergy and make sure those are not available, or the child's special requirements if they're vegan, if they're meat eaters, or if they're not, and make sure that's what's available because you want to cater to the needs of all your guests and you don't want an emergency if it's an allergy. But if the parents are there, to be honest, it's the parents' jobs to be able to look and say, oh, is this possible or this is not possible? So maybe allergy should be a big thing, or dietary requirements actually on invites, because I don't see that much, especially in the African setting or the Caribbean setting. We don't put that on much.
I think they should. It's part of the etiquette.
It should be part of it at all times now.
It should be, because quite a lot of people have allergic to one thing or the other now. So anyway, thank you very much for that. So what simple party rule help everyone feel safe? Sharing, turn taking, undo to save, or should we just skip that one? How should bullying? I need to mention that. Children, they bully a lot in a party. Yeah. Because these are the things some parents, especially parent that maybe your teacher, your child teacher have mentioned something about maybe your child always push or always and now they invite them to a party. I remember when my son, when was celebrating, I think 5, they did one, I think when he was celebrating his 5 years party as well. There's this guy in their classroom. And we know that this guy, we can't invite the guy, but the mom is really nice. Yeah. Because the boy is a bully.
Yeah.
He always fights in the class. Every time they keep reporting him and all that stuff. So let's say, for example, parent that didn't know, they say, okay, just invite all the class children to this party. So how should bully, exclusion, or gift-related bragging? We mentioned a little bit of gift that, opening gifts in a private. Should we open the gift in a private, or say, I'm the one that give the best gift? So gift bragging be handled in the moment.
Okay. Let's start with the bully question first, ma'am. I think the first thing is don't exclude any child. Okay. Because the effect that you're having on that child by excluding them, thinking, because for us, we might think, oh yeah, good for that child. That effect is not going to help that child. We have to always think out the box. Is that child protecting themselves? Is that why they became a bully? Are they protecting themselves? Are they worried about something? Does that child think differently? So personally for me, if I was that parent and I was doing a drop-off party, I would have a word with the mom and say, I'd like Ari to come to this party. However, I'd like you to stay because I might not be able to manage Ari or look after Ari. So even though I'm telling everyone they can drop off, I would like to say to that parent, it's for Ari's safety and also the concerns of other children. Now, it's now up to that parent if they don't want Ari to come to the party or if they are happy to stay with him and they can control him. Every parent knows their child. Let's not pretend. It's better than now inviting 29 children and leaving out Ari, because what you're doing for Ari's development is not good. Because we always have to think as well of the other side, because everybody now comes to the party and says, oh, we had a fun time at Fred's party on Saturday. Ari is left out. I know Ari is a bully. Maybe it's because of Ari's where Ari comes from. Maybe Ari's father is a bully to Ari's mom. Maybe that's how they grew up. It's not the child's fault. We are all a product of our environment. Anybody is subject to change. So because they are doing it now, they don't know any better. They might change later on, or it could be what is affecting them that you can't see, their disability.
That's true.
So
Well done.
I will put that, ma.
Anyway, we're rounding up now. What's respect photo etiquette? We're talking about photo etiquette now. Asking consent, avoiding posting children face publicly, and following the host policy. You know, now social media is anyway, you understand. Let me just leave it to answer the question.
Right. I'm going to answer this as a host and I'm going to answer it as a parent. So
Okay.
for me, I would normally send out a contract to all parents at the beginning of our agreement. And I would say to them, these are the things that we do. I sent out a contract and I sent out a consent form. Now, if you have given me the consent that I can post, because obviously I need to post to show to people I'm hosting a party, I can post, then I would now also mention that you need to let parents know that Yummy Mummies is going to be posting on her social media. And if it's a no, it's their choice to go straight to Yummy Mummies and say, please, I don't want my child's face on it. And I would make sure that I look for that child. I'll take a picture of that child at that point to let them know that I would make sure I would edit it before I post out.
Okay.
However, when I might used to do that, I might mention, but I cannot speak for everybody's action as a parent. Some parents have a terrible habit, ma. Very terrible, that even if you are in church, they've got their phone out there recording. It's indiscipline, it's bad etiquette, it's bad manners. They don't even have respect for the house of God. So you think they're going to have respect at your party, even if the host mentions it. So I suppose it's then up to me as a parent. I know the people I'm inviting to say, Shade, I know you are queen of TikTok, but please, there are some children here that cannot be posted due to legal issues, because that's part of it as well. Maybe they live in a social working environment. They are not around their parents. So please, if you're going to post yourself, post your children. I don't want you posting my party. So it's the responsibility of me as a host of the party, the mother host, not the MC or the party entertainer, to let my guests know. I know my guests. I know what they are capable of. That this is a party where nothing should be posted on social media. Feel free to post yourself and your children only.
That's a good one, because people these days, people go to your party, including adult one. They will carry their phone,
In
they
your
do
face,
recording, and
without even asking you.
without even asking. So I think that's a good one. You've answered my second question, so we just go. How do transition music, countdown apps, escape time, game changing, and home time to avoid tears?
How does transition, sorry, take that slowly, please, ma'am.
How do transitions, music, countdown, apples, escape time, game changes, and home time to avoid tears? Children, they've been in the party, they've been enjoying themselves, you've had lots of activities, and now we say, oh, children, we have 10 minutes to round up this, and children, they don't want to go home.
That's my job as the MC, to let children know at the beginning, we're going to be playing a series of games. This party needs to round up at so time. It's just pre-warning them. We have 3 more games left. We have 2 more games left. We have 1 more games left. It's party bag and home time. That's my job to let them know so that the thing with children is you have to build them up to it. So that they know that it's nearly over. Unfortunately, there's always going to be one child that's enjoyed themselves so much they cannot. But at the end of the day, everything comes to an end. You just have to let them know that see you at the next party.
Okay.
So it's the host that really, it's the MC or a kids entertainer that really needs to handle that bit. That's if you have one. If you don't have one, then the host themselves needs to go around and let children know. And then that's also part of a parental job. Let your child know the party is from this to that. Oh, it's nearly home time now,
Okay. Thank you. Then finally, how do we undo party bag in party? I've had a party before. Some kids, they like what is in the party bag, and some kids they say, you can see it in their face that we don't really like what is inside here, and some really love it. So how do we help our children to get the best?
Okay. There's a lot of etiquette things around party bags that really, really needs to actually be said. So I'm going to answer your questions, but I'm also going to open it back because if this is an etiquette thing, first of all, as a host or as a MC or kids entertainer, that's part of the questions I would ask. What are your party bags? Are they age branded? What age does it stop? Have you done a party bag to each child where you're going to write the names of each child on the party bag? Those are the right questions that you need to ask the mother host or the father host before you take on the job, because it just makes your job easier. And having an entertainer means that you can literally hand over to the entertainer and let them control that bit, because that can be a stressful time for parents. Because if I've only invited, let's go back to our this thing, Ola to the party, and you've brought DG, you've brought whatever, there's a chance I've only written the name of that child on the party bag. And there's nothing wrong with that, because as a host mom, that's what I can afford. I'm not expecting extra children. So it's now up to that entertainer to take the mic, because you have no business with that person. That person is doing their job to say, right, calling out names and say, these are the names, and telling parents to sit down. One thing I realized in the past before I started doing that is we've got bad manners, especially parents. When you say, right, it's party bags time, some parents would literally run to the front of you as if they are the children and bring extra. And then they've then got an habit of when you hand them a party bag, I've got another child. As an entertainer, I say to you, go and bring the other child. Well, they're sleeping. Okay. So go and bring the other child. Well, I'm pregnant. Well, the baby is not out yet. Let me give to the people that are physically here. Or they're like, the other cousin cannot come. Okay, I'm going to hand over only to children that are here. And that's one thing I would always do. I would go by ages. So if I know, I would say, right, I want 0 to 2 first. I want 2 to 5. So no matter how much you are standing there, it's part of orderliness. Let me understand, not everybody crowding around you, putting pressure on the parents or the MC. Now, this is the age range I want next. You can stand there as much as you like. Until I hit your age, you are not joining the line. And you just have to be disciplined enough to tell parents. But once again, parents are so used to, my family's children are coming to spend vacation with me and they're at home. Well, they are not invited to the party. You did not tell your host to do extra party bags. So no, they are not getting it. So we just need to be firm. Now, party bag, going back to your question, it's a privilege. The person has invited you, they fed you. They don't even have to give you party bags. And the fact they have given you, appreciate and say thank you. So I am that MC that would say to a child, as I'm giving you the party bag, what are the 2 words I like to hear? Thank you. And those are the things you also tell your children before you leave home. Once they hand something to you, remember your pleases and your thank you. Because they don't tell you inside, they will tell you outside. That what do you say? Say please and say thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That's what I'm going to say. We've come to the end of our discussion. Oh, wow. Wonderful. Nice to host you today. And thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure.
Mrs. Adedun.
Yes, that's the word.
Jehovah Nissi, isn't it?
Jehovah Nissi, yes.
Jehovah Nissi. Thank you so much. And to our audience and anyone that will come across this podcast, my guest has said this all. And actually, one thing that really come to my face really now is that when you go to party, please do not correct other children.
Oh, yes.
Especially when you are not DBS check. I trust me, I know I've been around for a while now. But I know this DBS check, I've never thought of it that when you go to African party, Although if I go to people of color party, I see that everybody will
Respect
I
ourselves.
just chat. Me, I just chat, leave the children to enjoy themselves. If I have to, but I've never thought of correcting a child that you have to be DBA check. Anyway, me, I'm okay. I have all those security check by God's grace. But I've never thought of it. But please, if you go to a party, especially
You shouldn't
those
do
of
it
those
anyway. That's
exactly.
no BS. You shouldn't do it anyway. You don't know the history of that child.
Yeah, you don't know, and let's be caution as well. I know with etiquette is very important. Train your children.
Yeah.
The Bible say we should train our children the way they should go. So it's not only when they are going to party you start training them. When you see the auntie, say thank you. We say please. No, no, no. It's something they should manage from home, because when they have all this etiquette at home, when they go out there, even though they said children, parents don't come to party, you are assured that the reports I'm going to get about my child is wonderful. I'm going to mention this to my guest, Sister Nisi. I took my son when he was 7. They call it, is it 7+ exam?
Yes.
Yeah, 7+ exam when he was in
11 plus.
No, 7+.
7+.
The one they go from year 2 to year 3.
Oh, yeah.
So there's 7+, there's 11+, there's 13+. Yeah.
Yes.
So 7+, the little one.
Yes.
To year 3. So went to this school. The school is somewhere in Bocos Hill. So went for the exam. And, because of the etiquette, I know he did very well. Because of the etiquette, the lady said, your son is so good. He was clearing everything. He was helping us. We served them food, because after the exam, they gave them, because they're still little kids. As I said, year 2 to year 3.
Yeah.
He said, your boy is so nice. He was helping us. He helped us to clean up, pack up the trays and all that. And there is a lady as well at the back of this house. I mean, my street here. And she's their dinner lady in the school. It was before we went for that exam to that school.
Yeah.
And the lady said, I love your son. You know what? They always give him extra dinner.
Oh.
When he was in primary school, because he always helped the dinner ladies, you help them to pack. What do you want me to do? You see, so this training is very important. I'm not saying your child should be like mine, or every child is different.
Yeah.
You might not have a child, but at least all this thank you, please, and respect elders. So etiquette is very important. Thank you so much once for my guest. I'm so grateful for accepting this call. That is that from us now, wonderful people. Bye.